Ladies and gentlemen, fellas, we are back and the League of Legends is back. Officially, it is back today, the Midsummer Classic. I don't think this was scheduled, I could be wrong, but I think they realized the attention that they had and they didn't want to wait till mid-June for the summer split to come back. We covered pretty much the entire spring split of all the different League of Legends, so welcome back everybody. I break down the League of Legends here, these free models on the screen. If you're interested, I do my models, the ones you see, but in a downloadable format, my daily projections for every single starting player in that League of Legends slate, and then also my rankings for the stack rankings, because you want to be stacking in League of Legends. I have a course if you want to check that out. I'll link it up down below in the description on League of Legends so you can learn a little bit deeper if you're trying to learn and pick it up right now. If you already know what you're doing, you followed me through the spring split and you're excited for what the League of Legends has to offer, because it is really fun. I'm going to be honest. At first I was like, I don't like this. I'm not going to watch these things, but they're actually kind of entertaining and there's a good sweat for the DFS side of it, and there's huge prize pools because they have a very niche and almost cult-like following. But yeah, I have projections, I have rankings every single day. You can see it on the screen. That's the hyperlink. Also, I'll link it up down below if you want to check that out. And there's no better time than now to get in on Patreon because golf is coming back in 2 weeks. The MMA returns after a week off this Saturday. Literally this week, projections will be up. Daily stuff going out, continuing for soccer, for Korean baseball, for CSGO, and now the big one, and probably my favorite one at this point until golf comes back, in League of Legends. So welcome if you're brand new here. We're going to go position by position. I'm going to tell you the stacking options that I like based on the Vegas odds and based on just the upside of these players. We're going to go position by position through the top lane, mid lane, support, AD carry, jungler, and then we'll talk about the team slot as well. So sit back, relax, take your shoes off, enjoy yourself. These next 10 to 20 minutes are all about you. This is your time, and all I ask for in return, if you do not want to support me over on Patreon, which you should, no better time than right now, is just please, if you're listening on the podcast, leave a review and hit the subscribe button. And the big one, if you're listening on YouTube and you enjoy fantasy sports in general, ton of fantasy football content out there, hit the like button and hit that subscribe button because that's what allows this channel to grow. Totally free to support me in that way. Let's get into the video. But we'll start with the top laners, as you can see right here. If you're not familiar, top laners go up the top lane. They're not going to be as active in kills and assists, but they'll pick up a few. They're not the worst, and sometimes they are the worst in that category, but they're not the dead worst in that category, but they're usually not going to be your high scores. That will be reserved for your mid lane, AD carry, and junglers. So top laners are not somebody who you typically prioritize, and you can see the top laners on the screen right here, and some of them are going to have 0 fantasy points per game by their name, like Moyu and like Flame, because they haven't played yet. We'll see if they get in the starting lineup, but I doubt it. They didn't play at all in the spring split. This is based on 2020 season stats, as you can see, and that's mainly going to go off of the spring split. So what you get is 369 from Top Esports as a huge minus 230 favorite. Right now, 5.8 assists per contest is a very strong number. 23.6% damage rate tells us that that strong number of assists and the 3.0 kills per contest is likely going to be pretty strong. 37 games started during the spring split. 6,600, I like it. It's not expensive. There's no 7,000 plus top laners today. So yeah, I'm not against it. You see Top Esports coming in as the biggest favorite. They're going to average the most kills per contest on a team on this slate at 15.4, but they're also going to die the most at 13.1. So it makes it an interesting situation where you might have chances to get both sides of this. This is now going to be into the South Korean and the Korean and the China League. So it's going to be 3 rounds that you play instead of the European and the American leagues where it's only 1. So 369 does stand out. But honestly, as we go down this a little bit more, you have T1 as of right now being a favorite over Funplex Phoenix. And if you remember, Funplex Phoenix is one of the best teams, at least from the spring split, some changes potentially, but one of the best teams that we actually like to play. We'll have to see who ends up starting because they split it during the season. Imgun was playing 27, started 27 matches. Khan started 13. So depending on who starts for Funplex Phoenix, I'm going to be very interested. A slight underdog at plus 110. Funplex Phoenix during the spring split averaged 15.2 kills per contest and only died 10.7 times. So whoever starts out of Imgun and Khan, I'm probably going to have a very good amount of. I like that side of it. You're going to get out of Khan 3.5 kills per contest. That would lead the slate if he was to start. Imgun 5.7 assists per contest. Not a good damage percentage, so you're not going to get a lot of kills upside out of Imgun unless they end up winning, but you will get somebody who piles on a ton of assists who's going to be a cheap player as well. So I like whoever starts from Funplex Phoenix. I'll like it more if it's Khan. There's more kills upside there, but I like it either way. So looking at the top lane, I think 369 at the top, you can't really go wrong with that. Probably not going to touch much of Damwon Gaming's, although I think they have some upside, and probably not going to touch it at the top lane spot. Maybe if I go there, I'm trying to get the upset from Damwon Gaming. I'll attack their AD carry in their mid lane because those players will get more points. So honestly, Funplex Phoenix stands out the most at the top lane position. Heading over now to the mid lane position. So at mid lane, this is where we're going to start to get a little bit more of your points coming from. You can see some of the best players that we're going to see on the slate. Knight from Top Esports is an absolute beast. 4.8 kills per contest. 29.6% damage percentage and 6.6 assists per contest. $7,600, yeah, it's a fair price point, so I like Knight. But then I go down to Funplex Phoenix once again. I'm going to be on Funplex Phoenix. They're an underdog, and I like it. They're cheaper because they're an underdog. Doin B is probably the best mid lane and maybe the best player on this entire slate. 30.2% damage rate is the highest we've talked about so far. 4.4 kills per contest and 6.8 assists per contest. Those are very strong numbers. So Doin B as an underdog, Funplex Phoenix. As of right now, it seems like I'm going to like this stack as an underdog. I don't want to ignore the T1 side of it. Faker is a very good overall quality player when T1 actually picks up victories, but an absolute flake when they lose. So mid lanes usually in losses, Doin B can still pile on a lot of points. Doesn't seem to be the case for Faker. So I actually would rank this, and maybe you get a start at a Gory here. We'll see what the starting lineups are. They usually come out a little bit later on in the day. I'd actually rank this right now based on price point. Doin B, Knight, Faker, and then Showmaker if those were to be the starters at mid lane. I really do like Doin B. If you're not familiar with League of Legends, an absolute beast. Now we head over to the support players, and this is why I was saying top lane might not be the worst position in terms of overall scoring, because sometimes it is support. The one thing that support players will do, though, is pile up a ton of assists. The support players go with the AD carry. AD carry is probably the most damaging player in terms of causing damage on the slate, but they don't have a lot of health. So the support player goes down the bottom lane with the AD carry and creates some support, and usually that means not getting kills, and you can see right now in column P, nobody has more than 1 kill per contest. Nobody has more than 0.8 kills per contest, but it means they pick up a lot of assists, usually up there with the AD carries as the most assists on the slate per contest. And you can see Q-Key, the biggest favorite on the slate, averages 9.8 assists per contest and is involved in 69.7% of the kill participation. Now, getting very involved in kill participation, but only getting 0.7 kills per contest is very support-like. That's what they do. They pick up assists, and then the AD carry finishes it off with the kills. So it's going to correlate very much so with a little bit with the success of their points with the AD carry. There's some correlation positive there, but not enough for me to jump up and down about it. But the wins, if they win, it means the AD carry did really good, which then also if they win means they're getting a good amount of assists to force a push towards the Nexus, which is the whole objective of League of Legends, is to get the Nexus and acquire the win. So top esports, nobody's above $6,000. You can have any support you want. If you want to make a claim for the support that you like, that's fine. Sometimes support players get to like 62, 6,500, and then it's like, okay, are they really worth it at this point? But nobody's above 5,600, even the biggest favorite on the slate, and they're all priced so closely. So top esports is a huge favorite. It's only 5,600, and then you have just the next guys up in the second match between Funplex Phoenix and T1. They're pretty much the same price, 5,400, 5,200. So you're not getting that much of a change here. Now, what I will say is that in terms of just best overall scorers on the slate, we'll see who starts for top esports. It could be Yoongi Zhang or it could be Kiki. So be sure to keep an eye on who actually starts. But Crisp, once again, from Funplex Phoenix, in my opinion, is probably, without a doubt, the best support player on the entire slate. 2.1 deaths per contest is the least, 9.9 assists per contest leads the slate, and a 70% kill participation. So my first rank right now as I do this, I'll do my projections later in the day. Again, support me over on Patreon. The projections every single day, the models, the stack rankings, that's just for League of Legends. You get everything else in this all sports package too, including all the other sports that are going on. So you can check those out. But right now, Crisp would be my favorite overall support player when you factor in the price point to the ceiling. Probably the highest ceiling on the slate. And then when you factor in the actual price point, you're getting in at a bargain barrel price. So I like that for support. Heading over to AD carry, these will be your highest scores on the entire slate, and you get Jackie Love. I'm not going to say much. Jackie Love's an absolute beast. At 7,800, this price point should probably be somewhere around 82 to 8,300, to be honest with you. Biggest favorite on the slate, averages the most kills, the most assists per contest. Now, not the biggest sample size. We only saw Jackie Love for like 6 to 8 matches in the spring split, but 31.1% damage rate, an absolute beast. Give me some Jackie Love, my favorite play on the slate at the AD carry. Then LWX from Funplex Phoenix will be my next favorite play. Second in assists on the slate, right up there on the slate behind Jackie Love with all those second tier options in terms of kills per contest, a good kill participation. So it's Jackie Love, it's LWX, and then it would be Teddy for me. You can see I'm not talking much about Dam1. If Dam1 is not owned at all, I'll probably have some shares in my top 150, but for the most part, I'll probably avoid them because I do like top esports and a lot of their players a ton. But if the ownership starts to get to a point where they're over-owned or just no ownership to Dam1, yeah, in terms of getting like 5 to 6 to 10 lineups with some 2 or 3 man stacks of Dam1, or maybe even a 4-man stack, I don't think it's a terrible idea. If I was to go to Dam1, it would be with Ghost or whoever starts between Ghost and Nuclear. That's probably my captain. You want to have your AD carry in the captain spot because in victories, AD carries score the most points. So if you actually get the upset correct and Dam1 wins, you want to have one of those AD carries there so you can try and take up the most advantage of that spot. Before we head on to the jungler position, I will also say that Monkey Knife Fight, they are sponsoring these League of Legends and esports videos, so check them out. If you use the promo code Vetri, as you can see literally right below me, they will give you $5 free. You don't even have to deposit. $5 free on your first sign up over there, or make a new account and get another 5. You can play League of Legends, you can play MMA, you can play all the other sports that they currently have. You can save it for when NBA and NFL get going, but you can get $5 free for no reason, just for putting in the promo code Vetri. So go ahead, do that. Take a second. monkeyknifefight.com, promo code Vetri, that is VETRI for those listening on the podcast. And also, if you actually deposit up to $50, they'll give you a 100% deposit bonus. So you want to throw 20 bucks in on top of the 5 they give you, they'll send you another 20 right back, and bam, you just put 20 bucks in and you got 45 in your account. So check out Monkey Knife Fight, promo code Vetri, that is VETRI, to let them know that he came from me. Let's get back into the video. Heading into junglers now, I never prioritize junglers. Some score a lot more points than others. On this slate, there's 2 guys in terms of victories that will score way more than anybody else. It's Tion from Funplex Phoenix. It's Karsa from Top Esports. Top Esports and Karsa, the big favorite, the slight underdog, Tion from Funplex Phoenix. Those players will score a ton of points. Now, if Cuz was to started 35, I believe, out of the 44 contests over Elim in the spring split, Cuz can pick up a good amount of points. Highest damage percentage on the slate for a jungler at 14.9%. Highest creep score per minute at 5.4. But when it just comes to kills and assists, you're not getting it. Cuz is only getting 1.5 kills per contest and 7 assists per contest. So you can pick up those points, but usually it's not going to be a ceiling performance, whereas Tion, even in a loss, can get a good amount of points, but in a victory, Tion and Karsa can hit huge ceilings. So that's where I'd go Tion and Karsa if you're looking at junglers today. Cuz would be my third option, and then Canyon from Dam 1, not somebody that I really want to get to any at all. And now we finish it up with the team slot. So once again, I'll call out my Patreon. It's linked down below if you're interested. And also, like button, hit the big old subscribe button that just popped up on the screen. I really do appreciate you supporting me. I don't know if I'm going to do the League of Legends videos every single day since I'm doing NFL videos every day, but I'm going to try and get out 3 or 4 a week. But every single day I will have projections, I will have analysis, I will have models, I will have stack rankings over on Patreon, as well as just the other 5 to 6 esports and real life sports going on right now. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, I'm going to try and do one every couple of days, every other day. But if you want analysis every single day, that's where you can sign up for Patreon and support me there with all the other patrons as well. So for the team slot, you never really want to put a team in your captain slot unless maybe it's like a showdown slate and you're trying to take advantage of that, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can put your team with your captain. I don't encourage it, but on smaller slates like 2-game slates, to get unique lineups, let's say you put your AD carry in the captain spot, then you actually put that same exact team as your AD carry in your team slot. Normally, it's not going to give you the most upside because in a win, every other position will score more than the team slot. But if you're trying to get different in some lineups, I don't hate it. If you're playing one lineup, I probably wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend just playing an underdog or building a more unique lineup by getting 2 AD carries, 2 of the high-priced AD carries into your lineup, which I think today you can do that by going with Do and B, who's not as high priced as he should be, but those 2 AD carries in Do and B and Top Esports AD carry as well. So just looking at the team slot, some of the stats on the screen, kills per game, the leader is going to be Top Esports at 15.4 from 2020 so far, and then Funplex Phoenix at 15.2. If you're looking at who dies the least per game, it's actually T1. And this could be why T1 is actually a slight favorite at just 7.8 deaths per game, but they only produce 11.8 kills per game. So in terms of average game time, none of these games should last anything extremely long. Funplex usually finishes their games the quickest in 31 minutes and 47 seconds, but they're facing the team in T1 that actually lasts on this slate the most per game at 34 minutes and 11 seconds. So maybe a little bit of upside there for both sides as the match lasts longer, more assists, more kills, more points in general. The biggest favorite is Top Esports over Dam 1 Gaming, a -230 favorite. And then you have T1, who's going to be a -150 favorite over the slight underdogs, who I think honestly should be the favorites in Funplex Phoenix at +110. In terms of kill-death ratio, the 2 best ones on the slate are going to be facing each other between T1 and Funplex Phoenix. T1 a 1.5 KDR kill-death ratio, and Funplex Phoenix a 1.42. Dragon control percentage, lane percentage, Funplex is the best in the slate. I like Funplex a lot. I think they're going to end up being the best stack on the overall slate. We'll see what my rankings and projections come out to say, but based on price point, based on the fact that I think they're being undervalued by Vegas, and that line will probably move, and maybe it already has, I like Funplex a good amount. So that's where I'm at right now. Those are all the position breakdowns. You can get all the other access over on Patreon. You can hit the subscribe button and really help me out there. And you can follow me on Twitter at SalVetriDFS. Again, I'm covering a ton of esports. I'm covering the Korean baseball, the MLB, the MMA, or KBO for MLB for Major League Baseball, the Korean Baseball League, all that stuff. If you like daily fantasy sports, and if you like fantasy football as well, making videos every single day on that. So check out that playlist. Check out my channel for more information. Maybe this is your first time seeing me. It is nice to meet you. Please hop down into the comments, ask me any questions, or on Twitter at SalVetriDFS. Hope to see you over on Patreon today and in the coming days. My name's Sal. You already know that. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and peace out, game.